Alô, alô. Começando aqui um pouco antes ou ao vivo. Já começou a entrar uma galera aí. Beleza, galera. Obrigado aí a quem tá entrando. Eu não tenho muito costume de fazer live, mas hoje vai ser por um motivo bem legal. Eu acho que vai valer bem a pena quem quiser entrar aí e assistir. Eu vou dar uma leve introdução aqui sobre o que eu vou falar. Vou falar rapidinho em português, mas a live vai ser em inglês. No início do ano, eu fui para Bali para surfar e lá eu tive a oportunidade de fazer um curso de apneia com Augusto Vegas, que é mergulhador e surfista de onda grande, e foi um curso super legal, cara. Eu aprendi pra caramba. Tive também aí a honra de fazer dupla no curso com o Bruno Santos, que é um dos surfistas brasileiros que eu mais admiro. Ele também estava lá para aprender bastante com o Augusto. E acho que bastante gente aí sabe que eu vou para Nazaré em breve e lá a apneia vai ser bem importante, assim, é bem bom estar com a apneia em dia. Então eu já estava querendo conversar com o Augusto para a gente recapitular algumas coisas que eu aprendi no curso lá com ele. E então eu entrei em contato com ele e a gente acabou decidindo fazer em formato de live aí essa conversa para vocês também poderem ter acesso aí a um pouco desse aprendizado que eu acho que é muito válido para todo mundo que pratica esporte no mar, para se sentir mais à vontade, para estar mais confiante dentro d'água, e para fazer tudo com mais segurança, né? Acho que vai ajudar bastante quem estiver por aí, vai me ajudar também a lembrar das coisas que eu aprendi lá no curso para estar preparado aí para Nazaré. Essa live a gente vai fazer em inglês, até porque também a maioria do pessoal lá do Augusto é internacional. Eu também tenho bastante seguidores aí que não são brasileiros. Mas quem tiver qualquer dúvida pode falar comigo aí depois e por mensagem e tal, tirar dúvida em português, que eu também dou um toque aí e ajudo vocês. E a Lele Pereira tá dizendo aí que tem que ter muita coragem para surfar naquelas ondas, mas não é só coragem, é muita preparação também. E essa conversa que a gente vai ter aqui faz parte dessa preparação. Mas é isso, galera. Quem for tendo alguma dúvida pode ir falando. O Augusto tá dando um curso online agora de apneia também. E quem estiver participando aqui da live, eu vou dar um código de desconto para vocês que vai ter maior descontão no final. Então a gente fica de olho aí, tá? Daqui a pouco, quando o Augusto entrar, a gente já muda aqui para inglês. Quem tiver alguma pergunta em português também bota aí, eu tento, não sei, não sou o cara mais experiente em fazer live, mas acho que vai dar certo. Vai ser uma conversa bem produtiva aqui. If Augusto is already there online, you can just ask to join and we can start the conversation. It's 9:30 right now. E é isso, galera. Espero que vocês curtam aí essa live que a gente vai começar agora, acompanhem e depois acompanhem aí a temporada em Nazaré. Vai ser bem legal esse ano. If Augusto is there, he can already ask to join. Deixa eu ver aqui. Alô? Hey, Augusto. There you are.
Dean, how you doing? Sorry, I
All
was
good.
I got a bit lost with the buttons, but here we are.
All good, all good. Good to see you. Good. I don't know
Good.
if it's the morning. No, it's probably the afternoon there, né? So
No, no, I'm in Lima now. I came to visit my family to Peru.
Ah, nice, nice. Cool.
So it's 7:30 in the morning. I have my cup of coffee.
Ah, perfect. So good morning then. Augusto, maybe you want to do a quick introduction of who you are and what is your work
Yeah,
like?
yes, like being introduced me, and my name is Augusto Vegas, and I grew up in Lima, Peru. Here from a very young age, I started playing in the ocean, spearfishing, surfing. Like many of you know, we are blessed in Lima because we have a wave called Pico Alto. It's south of where I live. It takes me like maybe 45 minutes to get there. So from the ages of 18 to 25 that I was still living here, I got obsessed with that wave. Not like something happened that I had to surf it every swell, you know. And of course, it exposed me to a lot of beautiful moments, but also very scary situations.
Uh-huh.
One or two where I would swear, okay, this is it, you know, I'm not gonna make it. and and then years later, life allowed me to cross a freediving school, no, to dive on a single breath. So after a few years of no, I eventually became a freediving instructor, coach. So after a few years, I realized, hey, I have all this experience of my years surfing Pico Alto. I have all these years of experience teaching people how to dive deep into the ocean.
Uh-huh.
And I realized, oh, I think I have something of value to a lot of surfers that want to understand more how to how to behave, how to perform better in stressful situations in the ocean, both underwater and above the water. Because, like you can imagine, free divers are humans that really take a last breath and disappear from the surface for minutes at a time, and they enter very deep, no, like places in the ocean, and this requires a lot of self-awareness, control of emotions, control of your actions. So initially, it can be a very different reality than what a surfer experience. Like you know,
Totally.
no, surfing can be a lot more surprising, uncertain. It is harder to plan, no, especially when things go out of the plan. You are at the mercy of the ocean, you know. So initially, for a surfer, it's not so easy to know how to use effectively the experience of a free diver. But with the right guidance, we can make a very solid connection between these two disciplines, which is what I shared with you in Bali earlier this year.
Uh-huh.
That's a and yeah, so for the last 7 8 years, I really made a commitment to improving on my education system called survival apnea. And no, and over time, I've been reaching more and more people, you know, getting great feedback. You know, I know we did our course a few months ago, and from the brief conversation we had yesterday, you had a few questions for me. So yeah, this is a perfect space to answer those questions, and let's hope that that information is valuable to those of you watching.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I think from when we first met and when I did the course in Bali, this is what I found uh, most important and valuable about the way you've been working is because I think surfing is still, even though it's not a super young sport, it's still not so, there's not so much science applied to it, especially to the big wave side of surfing. And free diving, it's been there for so long, and they are so often in an extreme situation that people learn it already much more about how to deal with these stressful moments, and then to apply this into surfing. I think this is the coolest, most, that's the biggest difference about your job and other big wave surfing, like people who have given me tips about big wave surfing. So this was really cool. And yeah, I feel there are many things that I learned on that course, and really a lot of information that I want to recall a little bit. one one very important thing that I learned and that I always remember and think about it, even outside of the water, is that you were talking about that island of calmness inside of the stressful situation. So can you remind me a little bit more about the concept?
Yes, of course. So, for example, first I will quickly start for the sport of freediving. Most of it happens underwater. You know, you can train a lot above the water, but the sport itself happens underwater. So the amount of time that a freediver spends underwater is relatively higher than what a surfer does. Most of the sport of surfing happens above the water. And when we are underwater, it's usually for very brief moments, and they tend to be quite intense. But they are so fast that it is hard to learn too much there. At most, you hear from a friend, "Oh, stay relaxed," or "Don't fight it." But more information than that is hard to get. No, so that makes it hard for a surfer to build a skill of how to behave in a stressful situation, because our sport is usually above the water, having fun riding a wave. You know, so when the stress happens, it's very sudden and very short-lived. So it's very intense, very short, hard to pick information in those moments. So when I introduce the island of calmness concept, for a freediver, it's way easier to get to this island of calmness and protect it. Why? Because a freediver has a lot of time on the surface to breathe, to relax, to get to that island of calmness. Then the freediver kind of decides when he goes down. So he has his island of calmness that he reached through breathing and mind exercises that we're going to share some with you soon. And then the freediver enters into the ocean, and usually freediving is practiced in very calm waters, in beautiful conditions. So you could say you enter the island of calmness and you take it with you in this beautiful underwater journey. That is going to be challenging, but it's very peaceful, you know. Now, you tell a surfer, "Bro, okay, next time you are on a wipeout, you enter that island of calmness and you protect it." And the surfer, first of all, cannot really plan when the wipeout begins, how long it's going to last. Sometimes you're about to break surface and the turbulence sucks you down and you are thinking maybe there's another hold down. So it is way harder for a surfer first to find the island of calmness and then to protect it and hold on to it. Now, a concept that like the way I like to talk about this is like, think of yourself as a ship that is navigated by three captains. No, one is the mind, one is the breath, and the other one is the body. And if you understand them well, you'll be able to know how to use them effectively in the right moment. So, for example, a freediver on the surface is lying there and he's using breath, no, to enter to the island of calmness. No, breath is a very effective tool to enter the island of calmness. Also, he can combine the mind and can combine the body, no, and then takes the last breath, goes down, and again, breath is no longer there, but he has the mind and the body. And if he knows how to use them, he can protect the island of calmness throughout the way. Now, for a surfer, suddenly you are paddling for a wave, or you held up with an offshore and you have a late drop and you end up in a very bad moment. So sometimes in those moments, breath is out of the equation. It's no longer with you. Sometimes your mind is starting to freak out, making stories. So for me, one of the best suggestions I have for surfers in how to enter the island of calmness is using the body, and in particular, using the face. No, the face has a lot of nerve endings, same as the hands and the feet. So in a very turbulent moment, sometimes your mind is starting to make stories, and if you're not careful, it can take you down a very dark alley of anxiety, anticipation, how long this is going to go for, what is going to happen, is this a double hold down, is my jet ski partner going to be on top right when I come out? A lot of things can be in your head. So you need to tame that captain. No, it's lost control, let's put it that way. So a very powerful captain in moments of intense stress is the body, because the body gives you the ultimate, the closest feedback of what is actually happening. So if you learn how to feel your body, listen to your body, how to use your body to your benefit, no, it can get you out of those moments. How? Let's say you're in this very extreme wipeout. Your mind is starting to lose control, and if you're not careful, you could end up in panic. So very quickly, if you have good self-awareness, you can block it. How? By coming into your body, realizing how are you doing? Arms, legs, face. You release tension. As soon as you release tension on the face, all the nerve endings suddenly go, hey, the face is calm. The face just entered the island of calmness. And the rest of your body goes, maybe we can join the face too. And before you know it, a sensation of calmness like starts to spread around you. Now, not because you got there, it means you will stay there. So now you need to protect that island of calmness. So now that you've taken a step in the island of calmness, your next job is to protect it. And the best way to protect it is to remain present, to deal with what is actually happening, not deal with what you think could happen. Okay, it's very different. So in order for me to stay present in a moment like that, the easiest thing to use is your environment. And when you are being held under in a wipeout, your environment is very evident. Why? Because you're going to listen very clearly to the sounds of the ocean. They're not going to be pretty, but they are what they are. So you're going to be listening to very turbulent sounds. And your body is going to be feeling very strong turbulence, very strong power. So immediately that gives you feedback. Oh, the ocean is very powerful right now. So in order to remain in this island of calmness, I am just going to listen and feel the ocean. It's going to help me stay present. And because the ocean is telling me that he's very powerful right now, I should not fight it. No? And then you surrender to that. It doesn't mean you are letting go, you're not going to fight. It just means you're being smart. In this moment, you're simply surrendering to the fact that the ocean is very powerful right now. That is what is actually happening. But your face is still calm. You're still on the island. And as soon as your body tells you the sound is coming down, the turbulence is slowing down, then, oh, now it's time for me to start using my valuable resources, my oxygen, my energy, to start swimming back to surface, or to start looking for my leash and start climbing it up. You know, so that's an example of the island of calmness. You know, first how to access it and how to protect it.
I see. Yeah. No, I think it's these are really valuable tips, and the island of calmness concept is always, it's like a good thing to think about, but it really has to be practiced so you feel the difference. And this was also a cool thing about the course, was that there were these things that, okay, if we practice during some time, then I can really improve. But there were also things that when you told me about, immediately there was improvement on my apnea. And I think nowadays people are really into seeing immediately results. So I was going to ask you about one thing that made me immediately get my apnea better during your course.
Yeah.
And that was the 3 periods of the apnea, right? Like, I don't remember if I forgot about one of them. I remember that the first one is the comfortable moment, when you just start the apnea and that you are feeling comfortable. You can imagine a place that brings you peace, and that was the first stage, right, of the apnea. And what would be the 2 second ones? I remember that at the very end is to count the circles, right, of the contractions. So can you recall me on that?
Of course. Here I brought my whiteboard, so it'll be easier for you guys following us to understand. So here we are. So here we have what I call the breath hold journey, or the trip one goes when holding the breath. So let's say you're at home, you are not in a wipeout, you're just relaxing, and you take a last breath. You close your eyes and your apnea starts. Initially, there is no challenge. Okay.
Exactly. Just
so the mind and
I would recommend for the people who are watching that you can try this right now. And if you try it, let me know. Let me know here on the comments. Go
that's
ahead.
a great recommendation. So first you take the last breath. And initially you're going to realize that your mind and your body are not challenged, you know? So experienced breath holders, they call that the relaxation stage. It's the beginning of the apnea. And it's the nicest part. So people that want to get good at breath holds, that want to get good at dealing with stress in challenging situations, they start to practice relaxation. Why? Because relaxation, calmness, the island of calmness, is an energy state. So the more you practice, like you're saying, how the island of calmness feels, how relaxation feels, how can I enter relaxation, how can I stay relaxed, the easier it will be for you to get back to that place when you lose it. Okay? So for example, let's say you are going to the office and you're a little bit stressed because you have a meeting coming and it's making you anxious. You can practice this in that walk. You're walking to your office, you're feeling the anxiety, and you know, oh, I just lost my calmness. How can I get back to my calmness? No? And that's how you can practice pretty much anywhere. So experienced breath holders practice a lot relaxation, how to enter relaxation and how to stay relaxed. And they use meditation techniques, they play songs, they listen to the sounds around them, and the list goes on and on and on. So that is something that you need to discover through practice, how to enter a deep relaxation state and stay there. Now, Bin, you asked me, what happens then? Well, what happens then is, of course, a human needs to breathe regularly to stay alive. So the moment you cut that breathing cycle, the body, initially it's fine, we are not too fragile, but eventually the body starts to feel sensations. Initially, these sensations are mild, and progressively they get more intense. And eventually they get very, very intense. And when they get to this point, the average human being will swear, you know what, if I don't breathe right now, I am not going to make it. And that causes a lot of anxiety, a lot of panic in those breath holds that go longer than you planned. However, experienced breath holders know that the body is very tough and the body can hold the breath a lot longer, So they've developed tricks, techniques that allow experienced breath holders to, even though they feel physical discomfort, they have the ability to trust their body and stay in control of themselves, even when they feel in a very uncomfortable place. Okay? What happens next? Eventually, the breathing muscles start contracting, like hiccup. People call them contractions. And these contractions, once they start, they don't stop. They continue going over and over and over until you breathe again. To give you an idea of how long you can push, how far you can push your body, is from the moment of this extreme discomfort, you roughly have double the time left. If you started fresh and you don't move during your breath hold. Okay, let's call it a static apnea. Okay. From this moment to here, you have roughly double the time. A point of reference.
So that's the middle of the way, or it's 1/3 of the way?
This would be roughly a middle of the way when discomfort gets very intense. You're like midway. So the average person, when they feel this extreme discomfort and they cannot breathe, of course, people get anxious, panic, very tired, very tense, and they could start making decisions, taking actions that start consuming a lot of their resources, their energy and oxygen. And if you are a human underwater and you break into panic, you lose your control, you are putting yourself in danger. So better take note that you can trust your body. No, teach yourself to trust your body. It's a very tough machine. So when discomfort appears, you know what? My body can deal with this. My body will get me out of this. So of course, that's easier said than done. If you're feeling very uncomfortable, okay, how do I stay calm, you know? So I'm gonna share with you a little trick. So relaxation, let's say we can call it easy to practice, you know? You can listen a song, you have a nice memory, your body's still feeling comfortable. Let's say it's easy to relax, not with practice, of course. But when discomfort onsets, it's not so easy to protect your island of calmness. So I'm gonna give you an additional trick. Before discomfort gets too intense, whilst you are still in full control of yourself, no, the trick is to switch onto a stronger point of focus. And in my case, the recommendation I've been given for years that works great in most cases is start repeating a phrase, a short phrase, over and over in your mind. No, here, no, a short and repetitive phrase. Could be something like 2 to 3 seconds long, like you are safe, you are strong, you are safe, you are strong, or one more wave, keep on going, keep on going. And this short phrase will create a shield around your mind that is going to protect your mind from thoughts that could trigger fear, panic, anxiety, anticipation, and potential panic. No? So you create a shield which avoids your mind from getting lost in a dark alley and allows you to protect your island of calmness. And then you enter the more challenging part of the breath hold in control of yourself. Now, of course, you practice this at home, lying on a yoga mat or lying in your bed, and you conquer it, and then you go, okay, I'm ready, you know. But the truth is that every situation is different, you know, and not because you've conquered controlling one means you have control in others. Now, the good news is that even though situations change, and even though the technique that works in one will not work in another, the reality is that the foundations of this technique applies to everything in life. That means that once you understand the foundations well and precisely, and you know how to execute them, you have a very powerful tool that will help you stay in control of yourself in all sorts of situations, inside the water and outside of the water. Okay, I'm happy to share a few of these tricks, but Bin, I'm not sure if I answered your question with this.
No, totally. That's exactly what I wanted to remember. It was like such a straight to the point, like from the first time I tried, and just to be aware of these different phases. I think everything in sports and maybe even in life, né, is about knowing how yourself works, like how your body works and how your mind works. And then just to have this, we love people, humans, we love structure. And then when we know, when we know the structure, it really helps a lot. Like my apnea improved right away when you explained it me about these phases of it, and then like the relaxation phase, and then I go to the short repetitive phase. For me, I always use just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and this like keeps your mind there. It doesn't let you drift to a different place or to a bad place, and this is incredible how quickly it improved. It's and we can really use this to every other thing. Like if we are being annoyed by something that we just anything in life, we can just try to understand the structure of it, and then boom, boom, boom. It seems way easier to go through.
Correct. So
yeah, it really like my question. Thank you.
Oh, great. I'm glad I was of some help. And to add on to that, so people understand a little further, the human mind, it's very particular, you know. If you look at the rest of the animal kingdom, I think we're pretty much, I think, the only species, I could be wrong, but close to the only species that can create abstract realities in our mind, you know? And that allows us to survive. You know, you're in the cave before you go down to hunt, and you're like, oh, but yesterday I go out of the cave and there was a lion on the right side. So today I better just poke and look, and if the lion is not there, then I come out. And if the lion is there, then I will do this. All right. So it allows us to make plans, you know, to repeat a situation many times in our mind before we make the decision, and then it helps us, let's say, prevent unnecessary danger, which has been extremely useful for us as a survival species, not to survive all these millions of hundreds of thousands of years as a human. However, the mind can also betray us. You know, nowadays there are so many abstract concepts, like you owe money to the bank, an example. You know, it's a human creation. But if you think about it, there are so many abstract things that if we're not careful, our mind starts to make stories of what could happen of 10 things, and another 10 things, and another 10 things. And now that mind, imagine you put it underwater in a heavy wipeout, and it's going to start like going this way and that way and that way. And if you are not careful, you lose it. So as soon as we can put our mind in a structure, you know, in a way we're fooling it. We're like, okay, bro, get distracted playing this little game. And your mind, okay, I'm gonna play this game. And then you control it, you know, you hold the reins. And then the real tough guy of the situation is the body. Because the body listens, the body feels, the body really tells you what is actually happening. So, and if you think about it, the human body has colonized the whole planet. You know, you throw the human body in the desert, boom, survive. The jungle, survive. The snow, survive. So it's a really tough machine. So the better you align your mind with your body and your breath, the higher, the closer you are to being able to put your machine through everything it can do. You know, so in surfing scenarios, you know, practicing constantly this alignment of mind, breath, body will really show you how powerful your body actually is. And the more you understand this, the more comfortable you feel, the more fascinated you become by, oh, bro, like this is a beautiful opportunity to see what my body can do, you know? Or you are, no, let's say you could be even before you go surfing, no? Or I can imagine you're going to NAZARE. Most people would be freaking out right now, you know, maybe not sleeping or having like constant anxiety. So right there you can practice. You're like, oh, I'm feeling anxiety. Okay, what can I do that is going to help me push this anxiety away? Oh, maybe I want to do a breathing exercise, or I want to read a book, or, you know, you can already start practicing tricks that help you manipulate or control the energy states that are happening right now. You know, and the best you can do to understand what you're actually going through is listening to your body, to the energy that is in your body right now. That will actually is the best guide of, okay, what should be my next step? Just to complement a little. It's a subject that fascinates me a lot, so sometimes I get a little excited to share more about it.
No, but I think that's a very good way to put it. Like, the mind can be like go so far away from what is happening at the moment, and I think the body is a little bit more true to what is happening in the moment, and it's a good thing to listen during these tough situations, or on a big wipeout or some stressful situation on the water. I think it's a very important tool to be able to say, okay, from the three captains, the breathing is gone because you're underwater. The mind can take you a little bit away, so let's listen to the body in these moments and really see, okay, my arms are okay, my head is okay, my heart is okay. Let's just it really brings you back to the present and really helps a lot, for sure.
And sometimes something I've used in the past, I don't use it all the time, but sometimes I think of my body as a team, you know. So my arms are like soldiers, my legs are like soldiers, my heart is like a captain. So you're, let's say, in a tough moment, and you talk to your arms, how are you doing? And they're like, I create like an imaginary reply, bro, we're good, we're good. We'll get you out of this. Heart, how are you doing, bro? We're still beating. Okay, great. So you don't feel alone. You're like, oh, my team is still holding ground.
That's a really good way to put it. Yeah.
And in a way, it helps you to stay aware of what is actually happening. And in this imaginary dialogue, you are distracting your mind. Your mind, oh, like we're talking to the heart, we're talking to the, you know.
Yeah. It's funny how we have to distract. Like the mind is such a powerful tool that we have, but at the same time, it is so powerful that it can like be a little bit of an enemy to us. So yeah.
Yes. You know, so it's a very powerful tool, no? But we need to know how to keep it in line, you know.
Yeah.
Use it in a good way, exactly.
Yeah, it's like those
cool.
I don't know, the whatever tool, like a drilling machine. You can use it for very good things, and you can hurt yourself with it. So
yes,
like
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And
sorry, I hear you. Tell me.
Just some like maybe we more or less finish. Would you recommend like 2 or 3 exercises that you can do? This was something that I was going to ask, because during the course we did a lot of exercises on the pool for training apnea, and outside of the pool we did like just some breathing relaxation and everything. Would you give me some tips of or one exercise that you recommend to do outside of the water to practice apnea? Because it's important to have a partner to train on the pool. It's not super safe to train apnea in the pool by yourself. So just
Correct.
to have a practical thing that I can do anywhere, on the airport now, on the way to NAZARE, that I have some time and I say, okay, I will practice some apnea.
Yeah. Okay.
Give me one exercise.
I'll give you 2. Okay. So one exercise, let's call it presence and relaxation. So breath is an amazing tool to help you enter a state of calmness. How? All you need to do is breathe in and out through your nose very softly. Like imagine you're falling asleep. No, so let's say when you're sitting at the airport waiting for your flight, you can just focus on the air that comes in. Little bit of air, just enough to feel that's a good inhalation. You pause and you exhale it softly. And you really focus on the sound, on the feeling of the air coming out, and then of the air coming in, and then of the air going out. And that soft breathing, that attention on your breath will keep your mind focused on something. And second, that very soft breath tells the body, hey, Vin is not doing anything stressful, so body, you can relax. You know, so soft breathing is a very powerful relaxation tool. Okay? And you can combine this soft breathing with, for moments, listening to the sounds around you, for moments, feeling your heartbeats or the feeling of the chair you're sitting on, and for moments, just simply relaxing your face and not looking at anything, but just keeping your eyes open, letting light come in, like a blurry vision. So you're using your breath and your senses to remain present and really deal with what is actually happening, which is you sitting at an airport waiting for a flight, which is something that is non-challenging at all. No, you're actually just sitting, you're breathing calmly, so your body should be relaxed. Your mind is focused on the air that comes in and comes out, listening to sounds, sensations, things that are actually happening. So it will be a great practice on how to stay present in a state of calmness. You know, so you really get familiar with it. So that is one exercise, you know. We can call it you're practicing presence and remaining in a state of calmness, using breath and using the senses. And the other exercise you will practice is the complete opposite, is how to create, let's say, an imaginary stress. So I would recommend this when you're not right after you've eaten or drunk something with a completely empty stomach, and you again, sitting at your waiting or on the plane, on the flight, you blow all the air out. After you blow all the air out, you suck the belly in, you expand your ribs, and basically you will be holding your breath in very empty lungs. Okay, what happens here is the discomfort of the breath hold, instead of going like this, like slowly getting uncomfortable, it will go like this. Exponentially, it will get uncomfortable. You will get uncomfortable so fast that it is hard to use your mind effectively on how to stay calm. Okay, so in those moments, you will realize how powerful the body is, no, to help you stay in a state of calmness. So you blow the air out, hold the breath, and you're going to just watch the sensations in your body. And when discomfort starts to appear, naturally your body will start getting tense. No, you will feel tension on the neck, the shoulder, your face. You don't like those sensations, so you're going to start releasing tension, basically surrendering to that intense discomfort, and simply noticing how releasing tension on the body will immediately bring you back to the island of calmness. How even though the body is suffering, no, is experiencing very uncomfortable feelings, how you can still stay on the island of calmness. All right, so 2 exercises. 1, relaxation and presence through breathing and the senses. And 2, breath holds on empty lungs, where you practice how to use your body, releasing tension on the face, other muscles, how to use your body to remain in a state of calmness and surrender.
Very good, very good. Yeah, I'll start practicing it right away. Right away.
Awesome, bro.
Cool.
And yeah, Bean, I wanted to add that so people know I also teach online. So even if you're watching this from across the world and you're not in Peru right now, like I am, I can still teach you, I can still coach you. And in order to reach a broader audience, I've designed an online academy. It's called the Ocean Resilience Academy. And currently we are offering 70% discount on the academy, until the end of the month, until November 30th. So I've made a link, especially for Bean's followers, and the link is Bean70. I'm sure we are both going to share it on our platforms. And when you enter my website, survivalapnea.com, and you go to the Ocean Resilience Academy, you just type in Bean70, and you'll get a 70% discount, to join the academy. And once you join the academy, you have my attention. I have all the tools to help you build these skills.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to do Augusto's course like I did at the beginning of the year and learn a little bit more, you guys will have 70%. Caramba, 70%. It's really good. 70% discount if you use my. I will share later the code, and you guys can learn a lot more about what we are talking about and how to feel more comfortable in the ocean and also to be safe out there. So, thanks a lot, Augusto. Thanks for giving my followers this opportunity. And thanks a lot for the talk. It was super
nice. My pleasure. I wish you luck on your trip. I want to hear how things go. And yeah, let's keep in touch. Maybe we can repeat another talk once you're back, and we can share. You can share some of the anecdotes and what went on.
Totally. We for sure keep in touch. During the trip in NAZARE, we will talk a lot too, I'm sure. Thanks a lot, bro. Augusto. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye. You too, bro. Ciao, ciao.